Welcome back to Harrah's Resort in Atlantic City for Off the Rail, where day 3 has ended, Judgment Day. I'm joined by Karl Boys and Emily Frazer, where we have just done the last 64 of the draw. Before we get into the last 64, Karl, day 3, what have you thought of the action today?
Yeah, very good, mate. Obviously, Judgment Day, a lot of close matches. A lot of the top players went over to the left side of the draw, but most of them have come through. So, all in all, great day.
I thought what was quite interesting is all the last 4 champions, other than Cope and Chunk, all got sent to the one loss side. Francisco, Jason Shaw, put myself on the spot now, Joshua Filler, and
Bardo.
Francisco Sanchez Ruiz, all sent to the one loss side, which means that we have got some very tasty last 64 matches. Emily, what have you made of the day today?
Thank you, Karl. Do you know what? Great day. For lunch, I had corn on the cob.
Love that.
Yeah. And, no, I'm joking. I didn't. Still some in my teeth. No, it's been really exciting. Like, everyone's been like, I love the moment when there's hill games and everyone just goes right round to the table. Everyone gets super excited about it and you see the whole crowds form round. But yeah, we've had some, some interesting games that have gone, to the underdog as such, which makes it TV at the end of the day. And like what Karl said, those players have come through at the end. But it's been interesting. We had some fan signing sessions with Skylar and Shane Van Boening today out in the vendor space, which is fantastic. The both of them sat there for an hour signing autographs, taking pictures. And we also had the juniors all turned up.
I was going to talk about that. You love that, don't you, when the juniors turn up? It's one of your favourite days, isn't it?
I literally just, I was just back here on one of the tables. One of the juniors was playing, just practising. And his mum come over and she was like, I've got a question. And I was like, are you sure he's in the juniors? He's like 6.5 foot tall. I was like, is he really in the juniors sort of thing? But there's so many, such huge potential in the future, obviously, for the pool players. And these kids are brilliant. How they get up onto these tables, they've got no fear. I'm jealous of them. They've got absolutely no fear in the world, and that's what it's all about, getting them here, getting them into this environment, playing in front of their idols, and getting them ready for the main stage.
And Karl, what do you think? You've always loved the Junior Opens, haven't you?
Yeah, brilliant. Obviously, you get to see all the young talent, like Emily just said, and there's probably more talent out there than I actually thought. Do you know what I mean? There's more juniors playing worldwide than I actually thought. Obviously, what Matchroom are doing in WNT to get the juniors in this arena playing alongside them, it's fantastic.
Yeah, and that action does start tomorrow. You can keep up with the scores on WNTLivescores.com. We'll have a separate SVB Junior Open page to keep up with that, and we will, of course, update you across socials as well. Right, guys, shall we get into it? Because I've got some very, very tasty matches. I've just run back from the tournament desk.
Present it to us, Jake.
I'm going to have to hit with a big one. Fedor Gorst, the world champion and world number 1, will play Koping Chung, a repeat of the US Open final in 2023 to kick things off in the last 64. Karl, your initial reaction to that, 'cause that's the first time you've heard about that.
Yeah, that's I've not seen any of the draw. You've just come with it. That's unbelievable. But listen, that's what can happen when you go to the one loss side. You never know who you're going to draw, and I think we've got ourselves a TV game.
Emily?
100%.
Cannot wait for that.
By the way, did you see, there's a little clip that I think it will go online tomorrow. Like, Fedor when he lost his game earlier, he come off and he was dancing. And I was looking at him and I was thinking, did he win his match or did he lose? Because I was like, he looks like he won. And then he just goes, I lost. And I was like, oh my God, this guy. But how much more has Fedor come out of his shell, by the way, in the last year since he came runner-up here at the tournament?
I totally agree. And when you've got 400,000 ranking points that equal dollars, I'd probably be dancing after winning a few matches as well, Karl. I don't know about you.
Maybe his phone pinged up and the checker's gone in from the world. It's finally cashed.
It's finally come through. But yeah, can't wait for that.
What
Definitely.
Other games you got, Jake?
Okay, Francisco Sanchez Ruiz, the 2022 champion, he will play Oscar Dominguez. A lot on the line there. Oscar and Fran both chasing Mosconi Cup, Reyes Cup for Fran as well.
Yeah.
Fran lost Hill to Jan van Lierop earlier today. So a lot of people probably wouldn't have expected that, Karl. Fran still trying to find a bit of that form that he had in that amazing year in 2022.
Yeah, I mean, Jan van Lierop, he does run a lot of the big boys close, to be fair. He sort of goes undercover, the young Dutch player. But listen, Fran's made it through. That'll be a good match. He's obviously going to be favourite on paper, but Dominguez is having a pretty good season.
You know Francisco very well. He was the breakout star in 2022. Where's his confidence at right now? Because I know that you speak to him off the table a lot about a lot of things, including pool.
not too sure, to be honest. It's like, the thing is that you really want him to get that back sort of thing, because he was having such a great run and he's such a nice guy. Fuck, like, you want so much for Fran, because he is just a good guy. I mean, I said to him when Barry was in here the other day before his game, I was like, Fran, will you just spend like an hour and a half with Barry, just make sure that he's like all cool before his game? And he stood there for an hour and a half. And you want so much for all these players, you know, not just Fran, because they're all chasing their dreams and they all, you know, want to create a living. But I think, look, listen, Fran has huge talent. He's been on the scene for how long, sort of thing?
Since Karl's been playing, so a long time.
Exactly, and he's going to get it back.
Yeah. You see that, yeah. It's because the mics were at your mouth. I thought I'd get that in.
Oh, yeah, I couldn't speak then because I was done.
I do feel like the explosion and the success of the World Nineball Tour kind of feels synonymous with the rise of Francisco Sanchez Ruiz, doesn't it? So I think, you know, you look back in history, and when we started our Open events, Fran was the main man winning everything or going deep in everything. So
can I just say, you are probably the most incredible person when it comes to stats. Because when you think that, he is the rise of like the World Nineball Tour, because he was there when it was all being created, the ranking, like remember he won the ranking
Derby,
event.
Won Derby,
in
Premier
January.
League,
And it was like bang, bang, bang.
World
sort of
Championship.
thing. But listen, he'll get that back. He'll get that back. He's enjoying his time. He's chill. It'll be good. He'll be fine.
Maybe a little less pressure as well now, because that target isn't on his back, Karl, like it was in 2023.
Yeah, listen, he's still at the top of the game. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, he's played last Mosconi Cup. You know, he's always going to be there or thereabouts. I think he's played pretty well this year. I thought Premier League pool at Jason's club, he played really well in all the matches I was commentating on. You know, he's not that far away, is he? I know he's had a lot of cue changes and equipment changes, so maybe he's just struggled with that, but maybe it's his week.
Yeah, okay, right. Enough about Fran. Jason Shaw, former champion and the current reigning Hanoi Open champion, will play Karl Naderberg. Karl, you crossed paths with Karl back in
Repeat
Telford.
that match again, because I just realised I've got my pass on still. I thought, shall I take it off? I'll just leave it on.
That's all good.
Who was it? Naderberg against?
Jason Shaw will take on Karl Naderberg.
Wow.
Obviously, you crossed paths in Telford with Karl Naderberg when you broke the queue back out.
Did he win?
Karl Naderberg won.
Karl won.
Yeah. But what do you make of that? Obviously, Jason sent to the one-loss side against Shi Chia Chen. He said Shi Chia Chen played unbelievable. Jason said he felt very good at that match, but it was just one of those matches where his opponent clicked into a gear.
Yeah, he said something else a bit different to me, to be fair.
Can't repeat that on camera.
But listen, and then he come for a close match against Hunter Lombardo.
Yes, 9-7.
I don't know if Jason's 100% on his game. You know, he's been travelling a lot with his family. I don't know how much practice he's been putting in, but listen, he'll fancy that. He'll be quite happy with that draw. No disrespect to Nadenberg.
Do you know who's been practicing relentlessly?
Go on.
Jeffrey Ignacio.
Love that. He's chasing down a Reyes Cup spot, so it makes total sense.
I would love to see someone like him win. I know I sit on the fence. I'm not saying he's going to win. I'm just saying I'd love to see someone like him win.
You do it for the storylines and the promotion angles, so it's not having favourites. I know what you're trying to get at.
Thanks, Jack.
It's all right. I don't know who he's playing, though. I haven't got Ignacio's name written down, so it might not be the biggest match in the world, so just put me on the spot there. But I'm looking down the current list of champions. We've got Mickey Krauss, most recently crowned European Open champion. He's going to play Joshua Filler.
Oh, wow. Great
that
match.
Is a bit of a dust-up, Karl. Get your thoughts on that.
Yeah, that is a great match. Obviously, Filler's been trying to find form. He's dipped a bit. He's not the same.
That's Jeremy Jones practicing in the background, by the way.
I've got his match, so I can reveal that to him in a minute. But your thoughts on Filler, because I know we've spoken off-air about that. One of the generational talents of his age. But like you said, not at maybe at the height that we've seen in recent years of Josh. Any reason why you think that is?
I just don't know, mate. I think obviously I've always sort of thought of Joshua Filler a bit like Michael Van Gerwen in darts, you know, just the way he plays, the way he does it. You know, obviously he's been around pool for so long. He just seems to be making the odd... You're just so used to him just drilling everyone.
I think that's what it is, isn't it? You expect him to make all the shots and run outs. When he doesn't, you're like, oh, he is human after all. And it's a bit weird to see Joshua Filler like that.
Yeah, I mean, he played Jeremy Sosi the last match on the TV table. He played really well. He won 9-0. But I think he just needs that you know, that
buzz. That
sort of match against a top player where he puts a proper clinic on again. But maybe he's just playing too much. Maybe he's, you know, at too many tournaments. Obviously, Pia plays professionally, doesn't she? So it's all pool in their household, isn't it? Sometimes you just need to get away from it all, don't you, for a week or two.
And you know Joshua Filler, he relishes the big moments, the big matches. So to take on someone who is in white hot form like Mickey Krauss, he'll probably get well up for that, won't he, when you think him?
Yeah, I think like he'll probably look at that draw coming out and going, yeah, exactly like what you've said. You know, he's coming up against a top player. He'll get motivated for that. And Mickey's the European Open champion, just obviously gone. So that's motivating. You know, if it were me and I was playing pool, I'd want to play the best.
Yeah.
I'd want to have a fucking great draw every time because you want to go up against the best sort of thing. So, look, Josh is Joshua Filler. I mean, you compare him to Michael van Gerwen. I always compare him to like Judd Trump.
Yeah, I think that's a great comparison.
You know, sort of on our side of things.
Two lefties as well.
It just, he's incredible. He's an incredible player, and he gets on with it, and maybe he just needs a little holiday.
Yeah, I saw you speaking to Mickey Krauss earlier today before he's gone out to play. I've not had a chance to catch up with him after the European Open. He's such a laid-back customer, quite hard to read sometimes, and you know he just kind of goes about his business quietly. How's he feeling after the big news last week of being the main man?
Yeah, I know what you mean, because he is his own person. I think he's just quite camera shy, to be honest, but he's so cool.
Yeah,
he's chilled. He is just. You know, he's doing his thing. He's been doing some radio interviews. He's been reached out, obviously, locally, back at home for interviews and things like that, following the back off of the European Open. And I think he's kind of a little bit overwhelmed with that because that's a new thing. You know, he was the underdog, essentially, and that's brilliant.
It's great to see the World Nineball Tour bring that profile to these players. And, you know, as another young role model coming through the World Nineball Tour, Karl, it's always great to see, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. That's what it's about. You know, we're so used to seeing the likes of Shane. By the way, Shane Van Boening played unbelievable.
Yeah, we'll get on him in a minute because I've got his match.
Honestly, he played unbelievable.
Against Imran, right?
Yeah, against Imran.
Yeah. Whilst we're on Shane, I might as well tell you who he's playing. He's playing Italy's Francesco Candela. What do you make of that? I mean, Shane looks like he is in a different gear. In our preview show, Karl, we spoke about the long money match that him and Fedor had played. I floated the idea of whether that's the right thing to do before a big event like this, and you said Shane Van Boening lives on the pool table. He's been having 18-hour days playing pool, but it looks like he's as fresh as Daisy out there, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, like Emily said, he's even been out there for an hour signing all them cards and everything for the fans. And, you know, when Shane sort of gets in that, you know, mojo and just playing, seeing at Premier League pool, them little breaks that you were having, you weren't even eating, you were just going straight to the practice area. He's just very unique like that, and I seen it from the very first shot against Imran. He was just striding round table. He just looked like he knew he was never going to miss a shot. He played unbelievable. And no disrespect to Candela, but he'll be happy with that draw.
And Emily, from the promoter's angle again, I know you don't have favourites, but Shane chasing down that historic 6th title. I mean, as a promoter of the sport, you must be thinking that is a story of all stories to happen this week, right?
Of course, and you know, I've always got a soft spot in my heart for Shane. And him having the SVB Junior Open here, like inspiring the next generation. They've all got hoodies out there, like the younger juniors that are participating. For him to come out and do this here, that's one of his goals. And one of his goals was also to win the World Championship, and he did that. And you could see that emotion from him when he did that a couple of years back. And for someone like Shane to do that at his age and, you know, in his career, it would be incredible. I always think that the right person wins, and I believe that's what's going to happen this weekend. But whatever happens, it's going to be a juicy final.
Yeah, it's going to be great. Talking of former champions, Carlo Biardo, who struggled early on the TV table against Chris Mellon, not like his usual self. He will take on Labutis, who's been arguably one of the most consistent players on the World Nineball Tour this year. Outside of the European Open, had some great runs in previous Opens this year, Karl.
Yeah, tough match for Biardo. It's Biardo played Mellon on TV. I was in the com box. It's the worst I've ever seen Biardo play. I don't know what was going on.
Yeah.
I've never seen him play that bad. I don't know how long he's been using the carbon shaft, but he always used the wood cue, and he was playing with carbon. I don't know if that's got anything to do with it, but listen, he's in the hat and he's still going to be a threat, but he needs to definitely play better than he did.
Yeah, totally agree. Right, UK Open champion Robbie Capito will take on the Terminator, Niels Fine. Bit of youth versus veteran experience angle there. I'm looking forward to that match, I think. What do you think about that, Karl?
Yeah, it's a tough one to pick, to be fair. Like you say, you've got the youth, the new breed of player against the old legend Niels. It's a 50-50 match, probably.
Emily, what do you think about that? Again, Robbie, another new young name coming through the scene on the World Nineball Tour. How's that whole experience been for him when you've spoken to him?
Yeah, I'm not going to comment on who's going to win the games. That's not my forte. I'll let Karl do that. But again, you know, you've seen the UK Open, European Open, both won by Robbie Capito and Mickey Krauss. Just shows that the development of the tour is heading in the right direction. But Shane Van Boening won the Premier League pool.
Yep.
You know, it just shows that it's right.
Yeah.
What's happening? But again, Robbie, great player. And I'm sure it's going to be an interesting match either, whatever way it goes. But it's a shame. It's the last 64 tomorrow, so that means whoever loses goes out.
We do start to say goodbye to a lot of people tomorrow. And talking of storylines, and I've left it to last for the very reason, close friend and comms box connoisseur Jeremy Jones, who went to the last 64 unbeaten, might I add. He will play USA's...
Lad, by the way.
He is, what an absolute geezer. He's going to be playing BJ Ussery, an all-American clash. BJ's in the mix for a Mosconi Cup spot this year. Don't know if JJ can hear me.
JJ.
JJ.
You got BJ Ussery.
He said go America for those that didn't hear and gave a thumbs up. The smile's not left his face all week, Emily. Have you enjoyed seeing JJ out there?
I love it so much. And when he said it, we were at, where were we? European Open. At the European Open. Was it the European Open?
What, as in putting him to the US Open?
Yeah,
it was very recent.
It was recent, and he was like, oh, I was thinking of playing in the US Open, but I can't, I've got work, this is my job. And I was like, come on, JJ, like, you're a previous champ playing the US Open. He was like, yeah, but I've got to commentate, I've got work. And I was like, the guys will be fine. Like, and I'm thinking he's going to go like 2-0 sort of thing. I'm like, the guys will be fine. It will be fine. We got Scott there, we got Karl, we got Phil. Everything will be grand. He's like, no. I'm like, Karl, JJ, you're playing. He's like, okay, cool. I'll get practicing. And he's fucking come in here and he's like, got through to the last 64.
He's playing good.
Honestly, I could not be happier.
Yeah.
Could not be happier to just see him out here playing like that. That makes me so happy. Just him walking around with a smile on his face.
It is great. Karl, I know you're very, very good friends with JJ, and you've said yourself it might be a few more extra shifts in the comm box, but you've enjoyed every minute of seeing JJ have a run this week, right?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter. You're in here all day anyway, so if you sat watching or freaking talking about it, doesn't matter, does it? But obviously he beat Tyler Steyer, didn't he? And that was Hill and
then
Tyler.
Torsten.
Well, Tyler Steyer's out now, so
Yes.
he's played a part in knocking him out of the event. And then obviously Torsten Holman said he played well in that match, and obviously he's through to the last 64, and he'll have a good chance against BJ Ussery, so maybe last 32.
Looking forward to the last 64 start, and I know we spoke about it yesterday. It feels like a different stage of the event now starts, Karl.
Yeah, it does. We've finished qualifying, so we've lost a lot of players, 64 left. All the matches will go up a notch or two, and, obviously we've not seen the full draw, but some of the matches you've mentioned there, it's going to be a great day.
It certainly will do. So the draw will be in full, published on WNTLivescores.com. You can see it then. We will be back on your screens from 10 a.m. local, live on Matchroom Multisport YouTube for Table 1, Matchroom Pool YouTube for the TV table, and then we're on Sky and DAZN for the next 2 days. But we'll catch about that tomorrow, won't we?
Yeah, also, well done for not interrupting, buddy. You've done well.
Tried my best. I cut down on the caffeine, dressed a little bit smarter.
No caffeine for Jake anymore.
I heard the comments. Appreciate it, guys. See you soon.